Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for coming back for yet another video. We have had a couple fun ones the last few videos, and this one is no different. Today we're working on a vintage Troy-Bilt Rototiller. So a local guy in town, he found it, I think he actually found a pair of them, and I connected with him recently and I looked over and I said, I gotta work on that. What is that? So he told me the story behind it, and apparently he got it for free. He got 2 of them for free or something. I don't know the story, but I told him, you know, you kind of hit the jackpot. Those are very unique, interesting machines, and they're pretty crazy. So he let us take one home, and here we are. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it. All right, so here's our victim today. I really don't know anything about it. I mean, it's just kind of a rusty old piece of crap. So I did a couple once-overs on it, and I'll show you what, you know, just some of the things that I've noticed. And by the way, I am also filming. I just got a GoPro, so I have that strapped, you know, I'm filming the thing with this DSLR as well. And this kind of jumping on board the GoPro train, this has maybe a little bit more versatility. So I might just randomly jump back and forth between each one for no apparent reason. I have been looking for kind of a date or like a serial number of some kind. Usually on these really old ones, it's like stamped into it. It's not some dinky sticker or something like that. That would make a lot of sense. It says Tiller serial number, and then there's an arrow right there pointing to the side. It's right on top. Right on top of that little notch here. Let me, a little spit shine. 415731. 1573. It might be January 5th, 1973. 4 and 1. Somebody probably knows somewhere, but I'm sure there might be a forum or something online. It's either 1941, which it probably isn't, 1915 or 2015, probably not. 1957. 57 might be a little bit too old. And then there's 73 or 31. So I'm assuming it's probably 1973. This thing's probably 50 years old. Lord only knows the last time it ran was. There's some crap in there, like just old rusty crap. I'm gonna get you on the tripod. The pull cord is, it wants to suck back in, but I think somebody replaced the rope maybe at one point. This rope is super thick. These things just get really, really smoked and beat up. Let's take a look at that gas tank. Oh boy. Well, just take my word for it. It kind of looks like that in there, but a little bit worse. So that will need whatever kind of attention that it needs. Wow. All right, well, first things first, let's get that, let's at least get this pull rope up there and see. All right, I only use this once in a while, but I think this is the opportunity. It's just really sluggish. There's probably a 5/16 in there. Just back that off a hair, and then maybe get some penetrating fluid in there. Okay. Oh yeah, see how that wants to like snap back. Okay. So that's a million times better. All right, let's get that back on there. We'll pull it over and we can get a little bit better information on you know, what it kind of sounds like when we pull it over, all that stuff. It would be cool if it just like ran. I think I'm supposed to be a little bit more over here. That's all right. Yuck. Couldn't tell if that was a recoil, if that was something. I think that's the recoil making that noise. Well, the crankshaft is spinning. I can see it over there. There's a, you can't see right by my toe, there's a pulley that is spinning. I say we get a wrench. We'll get that spark plug out. We'll see what that thing looks like. I always hate these ones with the, like the protectors. Nothing ever seems to fit in there. I think I'm just a shade too big. That's one too small. There we go. Definitely not the worst one I've ever seen. All right, we got a couple pine needles. Just make sure it's like operation. They don't fall in there. What are the chances you think that we have this sparks? And we'll get this honking light out of the way. All right, focus your attention right at the tip of that electrode. So I didn't see anything. Before I jump to too many conclusions, I'll try a new plug. I didn't see it there either. Just check to see maybe if it has compression. The old thumb. Yep. It's got compression. I don't know if that's points or not. We'll have to find out. We'll probably have to pull that gas tank off regardless and focus some efforts there. Maybe rip a few pieces off and we'll see what's behind door number 1. Okay, so I think that we just have this bracket, and then there's something, just like some kind of tin covering the top of the cylinder head. This is a what's called a flathead engine. What that means is that the valves are kind of in line with the cylinder, right? And so it makes the top flat versus an overhead valve system when you have that little box and cover, and then you take that off, and that's where the valves go up and down, and you can kind of adjust them that way. So it's a flathead engine. I got penetrating fluid just doused on there. That's the wrong way. That's righty, tighty, lefty, loosey. So, oh boy, that just broke. Well, we only had one casualty out of like 9. Oh my goodness. Whew. I don't even know if we needed, I don't even think we needed to take that off. I think there actually might be points on this just because there's no magneto. So those points are up behind this flywheel. All right, let's get this screen off of here. I'm gonna pop this old flywheel off of there. Just put that on in reverse. Put it flush with the top of the crankshaft. You just get a little bit of pressure behind it, and you just give it one good old whop, and it might come popping off, might not. Oh, you gotta hit it. Don't go crazy on it, but you can be a little bit aggressive with it. I got some compressed air. I'm just gonna get a lot of this crap off of here. All right, so I will get this this magnet kind of cleaned off a little bit. So I think I'm going to shift my attention more. It does look like it's leaking oil out of there too. There's a little bit of crap. So who knows? There's might be some seal that's bad in there. Not going to go too crazy. You know, this thing's like, 92 years old. So I'm going to get the flywheel back on, just kind of shift more of our focus over that way and see if that has any promise over there. Okay, so here's that piece. Doesn't want to move. So it probably wouldn't hurt to just, in the spirit of penetrating fluid, just get it in there. So I'd imagine this is some kind of condenser. And then this is what kills the engine. You just hold that down, and that is the kill wire. Essentially on a lawnmower, you just move the throttle cable all the way down, and then at the end, there's usually some kind of ground where it will ground out, which will kill the spark, and that is in here, condenser point connected to the magneto that kills the spark. So why does it not have spark? That's the question. Yeah, so those are the points. Those are, here, I'll get you in here. Those points right there, those two metal things that touch, those are super gummed up. So I can just run I don't have a file or anything, but I can get just a little piece of sandpaper and just run it through there. And then we'll put that back together, and that should fix our issue, but we won't jump to any conclusions. There's just a little metal piece behind there, if you see that. And that moves out, and that's what grounds, I believe, grounds to that. Underneath there, it'll ground, and then if that was the issue, we should have spark now. That carburetor, I think, is in extremely worse condition than we think it is. Let's see if that fixes our spark issue. We got it. Holy cow. Okay. It's late. Somebody's gonna get mad at me, but we don't care. We just don't care. This is next level. Will it run? God only knows how long this thing's been sitting. All right, the moment of truth. 9:32 p.m. 9:32. What'd it do? Here we go. Oh. Wanted to pop. Just go right through the mouth, right through that dirty carb. All right, there we go. Oh my gosh. It did fire over, and we got a good engine, which is incredible. Seriously incredible. I think I'm calling it a night. That's a victory for tonight. Now we just gotta fix that carb in that gas tank. Oh, I've been dreading this. I really have. Definitely have that ultrasonic cleaner heated up. I think, oh, be careful. Just be careful. Gentle. Oh yeah. We have no other option but to continue forward with this, which, I mean, this has probably been sitting for probably 15 years minimum, absolutely minimum. I don't even know if they sell like these gasket sets. I'm afraid this is too far gone, but I mean, we're kind of in it now. We don't really have a choice to turn back. We might as well just follow all the way through, or as far through as we can. Trying to be very delicate with this. Okay, well, there's the needle. Wow. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look for a carb kit. Where do you even find one of those? What are the odds that something like this is available somewhere? Need a float. That's filled up anyways. It's filled with water or gas, water, whatever the heck that was. Need a new needle. Dad, blame it. I just don't know where do you even look for something like this? eBay? Amazon? Is there a Chinese version? Well, I'm going to drop it in the ultrasonic cleaner. That's what I came here to do. Well, actually, I don't know if I'm going to do 30 minutes because sometimes overdoing it in an ultrasonic cleaner, you actually do some damage just because a lot of that metal is probably brittle and not, yeah, whatever. So let's go 25. I'm just going to look up the Kohler engine information and just see what pops up. All right, guys, I stopped the ultrasonic cleaner halfway through, and the party's over. I have bad news. It's just too far gone. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, that is that main pickup tube. You see that hole right there? That's meant to be there. Those two things are not. That is literal corrosion to the point where it is just eating itself. And you know, there's a lot of crap up in there. Whoops, there's a lot of crap up in there. That fuel inlet is completely toast. There's just a whole mess of stuff in there. So I had it probably, I don't know, 15 minutes I took it out, maybe 20 out of the 25. So there's only 5 minutes left. So it's, unfortunately, I just don't think this one is going to make it, which we kind of knew, but that's okay. The good news is, I don't even know if it's good news, but it's news nonetheless. And while that was kind of cooking, I did find on Amazon, they actually sell this carburetor still. There must be enough of a demand for it where people buy this. It is a K161T is the model, engine model. So I think it's a 7 horsepower Limo carburetor for Kohler, 8 horsepower, K90, K91, blah, 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 blah. It is Amazon Prime. It will be here Sunday if I order it within 2 hours. And it is Friday, so the day after tomorrow, which is incredible. It's $22. So an OEM bowl is $20 plus shipping. Okay, order is in, $24. See you Sunday. Oh, I hope this works out. All right, we'll get it figured out. I'll see you Sunday. All right, what's up, crew? It's the next day. What do you do when your gas tank is just terribly mangled like that from a rust, oxidation, whatever you want to call it standpoint? I'm going to get you guys in here, and I'm going to show you what the inside of that tank looks like. And I have a solution, and it's kind of a cool little trick. All right, so do you see that? Let me zoom in. Do you see how horrifying that is in there? Just the worst, right? I mean, it just goes and goes and goes and goes. Well, you can get a new tank, which this one is probably unavailable just about anywhere in the world, or you can do this. So I have 5,000 BBs. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fill this tank with BBs. We'll probably fill it up with a quarter of a tank of gas approximately. So you're going to want to find a way to secure it to some kind of a rotational piece. This is just a little four-wheeler we have. Your car works, lawnmower, rear tire, just get it up off the ground and get it to the point where it can rotate those BBs around. And we're going to run this for probably, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, so we tumbled for about 30 minutes, maybe 40. So now we're gonna get all of that disgusting, yummy crap out of there. Oh, wow. All right, epic drum roll. Boom. What is that? Not even a speck is left. Let's go. Oh, that is so cool. All right, that is incredible. Just what a comeback story that is. This came the other day too. Yesterday, 2 days ago. Believe it or not. So it's 20 bucks. Came with an air filter and a clone carb. I know this is like totally anti what I'm about on this channel is clone carbs, but in a situation like this, I mean, I did not even attempt to find an OEM carb, but obviously people want it enough to where there's a market for this. And there was a lot of different clones. There wasn't like just one. I want to say there were probably like 5 or 6, like all prime too, meaning they were at a fulfillment center. It wasn't from some random, oh, I forgot about that. Let's look at that. So I'm just gonna kind of compare. I'm gonna get this put on. I'm not gonna show that. That fuel tank, I'm still on like a high from that fuel tank. That is pretty incredible. I did not expect that. All right, guys, it is the next night. I had a few minutes, so I put that carb back on, put that fuel tank back on. I actually put a new, well, it was new to the unit, a new fuel filter on, or fuel line, and then I did include that fuel filter that came with the, with that kit. So I'm gonna put some gas in it. And I just want to fire it up, and I want to try to fire it up and see if it fires up. Hopefully it does. Everything went back together, without issue. The only reason why I put that fuel filter on was obviously because that tank was, So the fuel filter, just in case there's any crap left in there, that fuel filter will get it, hopefully. I do have some bad news. Before I popped the camera on, I was just making sure that the unit was disengaged. And during that process, this lever that will move the engine up and down, which then causes tension to either be present or absent on that pulley. So I was pulling this down. As you can see, that kind of moves it up and down. That snapped. So that is no good. It looks like it's disengaged right now. So what I want to do is I just want to start it, and I don't think that it should run. Well, hopefully it runs. I don't think it should. I don't think anything should be engaged. Before I go put in a whole bunch of time and effort into that, I just want to make sure that we're good here. Gosh, there's like moss all over this. Okay, so let's go choke on. I think that's full throttle. All right, place your bets. Place your bets. So I am not a metal fabricator by default. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hack that off, and then I'll just make a clean cut there, and then I will put that on, and then I will weld this one just like that. So the only difference is that we're just going to have you know, 2 or 3 inches less of shortness, and we're good. Best work, a little rough around the edges, but it's solid. All right, crew, it is the next day. I will give you just a little update. I have the unit kind of propped up. So this is that piece, right? I ended up getting that welded. It goes this way. This handle ramps up, and that's what you use to do it. There's a spring that needs to be, this whole thing needs to be flipped around, which is extremely unfortunate. And then tried to pull this tire off, and I could not. So what I was able to do is I popped that off, and I did have to go back to Tractor Supply for another tube, and I got an extremely cheap tube. It was like $9. We got that. I'm going to throw that in there, and then we'll get that cut off, and we'll get that thing figured out. All right, still a little warm, and again, kind of not very good, but it's solid. But anyways, it's going to work. And then the only other thing we can do is to get this valve stem out, put the tube in, throw some air in it, and see what happens. Let's wiggle this in there. There it goes. I just don't have much air in this. All right, so I guess that is just about as good as we are gonna do on the tire. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Please enjoy some footage of this thing in action. This was like 2 to 3 inches, a couple passes. Not too bad. And then we just got this like clay rock. If you liked the video, remember to hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate you guys watching this far into the video. If you have made it, thank you so much. You can follow me on social media at chrisxoutdoors. These things actually have an interesting value for how old they are. I want to say something like this in decent condition for this age and this model. I want to say these go for like between $300 and $500, and they are probably like $100 brand new, like when they were new back in the 70s or 80s. So I don't really know, I just a guess. So if you could see here, I have to put pressure down to keep that engaged. That is not the fault of the rototillers. That's actually the fault of mine for snapping that piece. Because that piece was shortened, it disallows that from engaging all the way. So it obviously still works, but it had something to do with, I was looking at it, something to do with the angle of the thing. It doesn't allow that to clamp all the way down to where it stays. If you're watching this video and you own one of these and that's why you're watching this video, shoot me an email, chrisxoutdoors@icloud.com. I wanna hear about it. I wanna see pictures. I'm fascinated with these machines. So please let me know. And until the next one, guys, later.